Fishy pussy. It's just like when your girl. And wait a minute, the fucking. I'm talking about a record that's almost 30 years old. Those are salad days. You know what I'm saying? But that's the Milabot Pussy Throb on that record. You understand? That's young Jamie on bass, as I remember him. By the time we were in the erotics, he was a different motherfucker. So was I. Although I still had to ski, I still looked like I did now. But he was different. He wore his hair down, and it was nice. It was cool because most. It's hard to explain in one video, but most of us guys were the overdraft or blowback or leftovers or fuck ups, token drug bag fuck ups that were blown back from the trauma school that had already whored massively in every top group. So Jamie still had his clothes from trauma school. You know what I'm saying? But his hair was different. I was different. I was coming in off the miserables, but I remember the day I went downstairs at Kings Road and I'm like, all I did was cock my head a certain way and bat my eyelashes, and I'm and I hinted that I'm more interested in Fat Mookin and I'm more interested in the erotics right now than this. I just hinted at it, and everybody was like, "What?" I would, and somebody insinuated, "Why would you give up?" And it's like, because I'm writing the words, I'm writing the music, I'm recording the bass line, I'm recording the fucking drums, I'm writing the melody on top of these chords. I can't. It's just way too much fucking work. I'm not Amadeus. Although looking back, I kind of was. But that massive workload needed a team of people to properly administrate that workhorse power that I was given. And that's what it was. It shook down to top three motherfuckers, and I was like, I was so good that I was in the top. It was like when the Beatles did, when they charted and they held three motherfucking chart slots on the top 100, 1, 2, and 3, dominated by Beatles. That was me because the top three bands, I was in every one of them at one point for a long time. Like, what do these three groups have in common? Well, they all got Aaron on guitar and backup vocals. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at these, and I was coming so strong from Bedrock and Flintstone days, really, but I was so young. I started young, so I was like fucking 15. I already weaseled my dick into that, you know, that voodoo that was Albany. That had simmered down from the 80s. The guys I saw in the 80s, these motherfuckers were all the bastard sons of runaway rock and roll trains. And there I was. I was an anomaly, a misfit, a total aberration. How the fuck did he get here? Where did he come from? Just like everybody else. You look on Mike Trash from the Erotics, you go all the way back to 1980 fucking 4. Doing Lethal Lipstick. You can open a Buzz magazine and see Mike Trash stepping out of a fucking limousine with big hair. Like Johnny Thunder's big motherfucking hair. And you could see Young Tragedy even in those magazines. You remember him? All them guys. The doorman at QE2, one of them. And before the Metro Lane took over, I'm talking about real George Backroom, Mike Trash. And those are the motherfuckers that I jumped into. I jumped into their game. And they were much older. But the thing about them is every time they started anew, they came out new. They had that new funk and that new flavor and that bite and those hooks. A lot of people don't understand the erotics. They still don't. They used to. We were blacklisted from many places because people got the wrong ideas. I know from being in the Miserables and all these other groups that there was a serious Nazi underground that used to come, and they used to come drunk and fuck up shows and stand at the front and push girls around and push the girls. You could be at Bogies on Wednesday night and these motherfuckers would show up and they'd get real West Side Story about it. And you'd be like, dude, I gotta go to school tomorrow. I'm doing fucking pop music. You know what I'm saying? For for Howie Glassman or something. And I'm happy as fuck to be here. They got us on a TV. We could see ourselves. And you could look up right where your monitor, right where you could look up while you were on stage, and they would give you a video feedback of what you looked like on stage, and they had superior sound. And all of a sudden, there's these Nazi guys, and that's how the erotics formed, as a to totally dilute, like Sid Vicious, I guess, wearing a swastika, to totally dilute the presence of that Nazi shit. They'd come on hardcore night, they'd come on, and they'd come into punk rock shows. Little kid shit, but that's the politics behind it. And it got better for the older guys that couldn't play glam from the 80s. And they're like, wow, second wave of punk, we can do that. And they jumped right in on it. Yeah, I'm gonna play that guitar. Play that motherfucking guitar. I whored around so much. I was like Sasha Grey. I had done so many shits. I was there, and I ran like what was the big name, like Christy Canyons, and I did it for 20 years. But fishy pussy, oh, it all comes down to just like a stank dick. If I don't know if you have a problem with having a stank dick or whatever, but it all comes down to the bitch's face and the bitch on the end. Because if she's a bitch that doesn't do that, then fuck her. That pussy's not worth it. It stank. I don't want to look at it. I don't want. But if it's a good bitch's face, you'll love that fish puss. You'll, oh God, give me fish. Give me cold fish. Give me cold fish on my face. I love it. Give me that shit. You know, fishy pussy's great, but when it's a bitch that you don't even care for in the first place, that just pisses you off. You're like, what the fuck? You come here with the stank puss. You come here with the fucking lackluster fucking flow. You didn't enchant me. I thought I was gonna get pussy. That shit better be immaculate, and it is not. It's that body, and that pisses you straight the fuck off. You know, it's the second you slide into bed with her and the panties come off, you're like, what the fuck is that? Oh, serious pussy funk. And that better be a. If you look at a pretty bitch, you learn to love it, you know? But a lackluster bitch with stank puss just. I don't really care though. But just sometimes you're not in the mood for it. You're pissed. Just like a bitch would be. Okay, oh, I came all the way the fuck over here. You're lackluster. You have no interest. Your dick stink. You can't even get hard. What do you want me to do? The bitch has every reason to go home. Thank God with music, I don't even know what that's like. I've always put my dick into the tightest holes. When I look back, yeah, I had a great time. It was awesome being surrounded by such the shit is so overwhelming good that you can't you there's no such thing as envy, and there's no such thing as, well, I'm gonna go home and try to write the you can't. All you can do is just marvel at it or join it, you know? That's what it was. Just if it's a good bitch, you just put and I love it. My dick will stink all day. You go to the fucking bathroom later, 2 hours later, you unzip your fly, you take your dick out, you're like, I smell bitch. If it's a good bitch, you love it. She stays with you all day, just like when her perfume lingers, you know? Then you know when she's coming. Love that. It becomes stank puss. It smells like sex. But if it just takes one bad bitch to fuck up that smell. And you fight to get over it.